So maybe that title was a little bit deceitful and maybe I shouldn't have put it as a semi joke, but I went to Hawaii for 7 days, which was amazing. And I had no long COVID symptoms. And it felt so good. I still feel pretty good. I've been back for a week now. And oh my gosh, I felt normal. And I think about this a lot, right? And I think I actually lived in Hawaii. So I'll tell you, like, I've been there, done that. It's an amazing place, but I see why people go on vacation there and then they're like, oh my God, I want to move here. I went there for a job. I had only visited once. Um, so it's very different. And also, like, if you're going to live there, you are going to go to work every day unless you are a millionaire. Um, but so it's different living there versus visiting. Um, so I am very realistic about that. But, I think about this in this way. A few months ago, I went to a lecture from our Physical Therapy Association about long COVID. And one thing they really talked about is that people with long COVID, chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, they do need more rest. And the lecture, he talked about, we need a modern day sort of convalescence of people, like, where people are healing, they can go for a prolonged period of rest time. And I'm like, yes, that's what I need. It sounds amazing. And so I feel like a week in Hawaii did that and it felt amazing. Um, like I was sleeping so well. I had no fatigue symptoms. The only mild symptoms I had, one day I took the public bus to visit one friend and I was kind of like rushing to catch the bus and I felt a tiny bit, but like nothing that lasted. But I think about sort of like, why did I feel so good on vacation? And I slept 9 hours a night. And after the first few nights, then I was getting like 5 to 7 hours of deep sleep. Like I would look at my watch in the morning and I was like, oh my God, I slept 6 or 7 hours of deep sleep. So obviously, like sleeping better is going to make the day better. And then I was also thinking, like, every afternoon I rested, right? And either I lounged at the pool or I like took a nap or I just laid in the bed. And I think about that with long COVID because, I think land exercise, I'm upright all day. And I surfed for 2 hours every day and I swam for an hour or two. And I was thinking about that, like swimming and surfing is mostly horizontal versus vertical. So thinking about, we know in long COVID that there's less blood flow to the brain. That's why there's like all the brain issues of like brain fog and dizziness and things like that, which I don't really have brain fog, but definitely some dizziness. And then the leg heaviness, I definitely have that. And I had that a little bit. So in the afternoons, if I laid down in the bed, I would put on my compression socks. I would put them on at night because it's Hawaii. I'm not wearing socks and shoes. But I think about that, like swimming and even surfing, you're mostly like laying down paddling or sometimes sitting. The actual surfing part is the like minor amount of time that you spend on your feet. But then I was thinking about, yeah, so probably that position of exercise is much better than like land exercise where you're upright, and then the compression of the water. So, I'm thinking about my physical therapy and exercise brain, and the water when you're swimming, it has a compressive force on your body, which probably helps with the blood flow, and which probably helps with the fatigue and everything. So very fascinating. I'm like, I want to feel like this forever, and I obviously know I can't be on vacation forever. But I think that's a lot of it. So like a lot of rest and a lot more horizontal time than vertical time. So even being active, right, like swimming and surfing is more horizontal, and then yeah, a lot like laying down every afternoon, right? And whether that's like lounging at the pool in a lounge chair, laying down at the beach, which I was like lay out at the beach too much. I was really trying to be good to my skin and not get burnt, which I did I did not get burnt. But yeah, or taking a nap or just like laying down in the bed, sort of that midday rest. And I'm like thinking like, how can I incorporate that into my job? I'm a physical therapist. I'm on my feet all day. But maybe I need to try to prioritize this. And then I've also been thinking like, maybe I need to get a gym membership to swim and swim regularly, because maybe that's a way to build my cardio and my endurance that's not so hard on the body. So yeah, it felt so good, you guys, to like feel normal and be like, I could surf for 2 hours every day. I could swim for an hour. It's fine. Trying to see if there's any other things. Yeah. So we all need a vacation. But I really think about back to that lecture of like, we need this concept of convalescence, which in the US we definitely do not have. We live in like capitalism to the extreme, right? And there's really no or minimal social safety nets. You know, there's some disability that you can get, but it's difficult. You're not going to get like your full wage. I work for myself, so there is no like disability. And if I don't work, then the business just doesn't exist, essentially. But I do really think about like, how can I incorporate some of these things into my daily life? Like maybe I do need to swim. Maybe I do need to find a way to like at my lunch break, lay down with my feet up for 10, 20 minutes, however much I can fit in, right? I also think about I ate so healthy in Hawaii. Like poke every day, fresh fruit. And when I came back, I always think I eat mediocre, you know, like balanced, which I do, but I came back and I'm like, oh, everything in my kitchen is processed. So I'm consciously trying to eat more whole foods. And I think just getting more like protein and veggies of eating like poke bowls every day, and a lot of like fresh fish and vegetables and fruits. Like I do eat a lot of like fruits and vegetables, but I also eat a lot of like processed food too, and I don't eat a ton of meat. I don't know why, I just don't. Laziness, I guess, of cooking it. So anyway, I think about all those things, but honestly, I think the biggest thing of like why I felt good on vacation is number one, it's vacation, so I'm not working, but I really think it's a lot of rest and a lot of water time, a lot of horizontal time. So I can't quite do that in my job, but I know some of my patients who have chronic fatigue and some other like chronic illnesses who work from home will tell me like, oh, yeah, if I don't have meetings, I just lay in bed and work on my computer. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a job like that. But anyway, we all got to kind of figure out like what we can do. So Hawaii was amazing. You know, it is a beautiful place. And I think there are a lot of healing powers there, of the land and the water. But I would also say Waikiki is not a very like spiritual place like other places on the island are, for sure. But also to know like it was vacation. It was not my everyday life, right? So yeah, how can I like emulate that now that I'm back? And I've been home a week and I still feel pretty good. I definitely feel my leg symptoms because now I'm like, I came back and work has been busy, which is I'm grateful for. But I'm upright all day. I'm like standing, walking, moving, and when I'm not, I'm sitting at the computer doing like administrative stuff. So yeah, I think I gotta figure out how to lay down during my day. And yeah, but I wish this was the permanent solution. And yeah, I wish rest on all of you that have chronic fatigue syndrome and ME and long COVID, because I really do think that is a big part of the healing. And just if you live in a Western culture, you live in the United States, it's like it's really hard. There is not a lot of rest built in and ways to get rest and heal. So that's what I learned. Vacation was amazing. I guess I got to work hard so I can go on vacation more to help the healing. It's sort of a weird American way of thinking, but I don't know. Just trying to figure it out. Okay, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments if vacation or rest has helped you, or anything else that has helped you. See you next time.